One of your research centers currently is studying let me call it the industrialization of services. And we call it services science. And we are just now starting to work together with some of IBM specialists from California, and some in Europe are working now together with two professors of your school, trying to really bring forward some valuable contributions which we could then also benefit from. The IESE has become a very global school, and therefore, can be used by IBM in many ways, whether it is in Spain or somewhere outside of Spain, particularly Latin America, where we also are one of the major IT companies. I guess what fascinates me most is that 5 years ago I did not know what the IESE is. And I now realize that it's one of the largest and one of the best European business schools. And it is not just European, because when I look at the list of students, whether it's in the MBA for students or whether it's in the executive MBA, 80% or more are non-Spanish or global or international. The school operates around the world, more global than probably any other school that I know. The network the school has is not just related to Latin America, which one would assume that is the primary linkage, but it's in Northern America, it is throughout Europe, and it is in Asia, including, we were talking about today, in Russia. And it's fascinating to me how this school, which was just created in Barcelona and Madrid, has created such a tremendous network. And then, of course, it is a school that is very well led, it's very well financed, and it's impressive when you come here as a board member and you walk through the new building in Barcelona. It is really impressive. I think the challenges that we have in today's world, and I mentioned before globalization, one of the biggest challenges, particularly the global warming. We were talking about this today in the board meeting. These are, I would say, mega challenges that humanity is confronted with, not just business. But business has to take on a leading role in trying to solve some of these problems. And obviously these are problems which companies by themselves would not necessarily be able to solve. Some of them are counterintuitive because they don't necessarily lead to more shareholder value. And I think the business schools play an increasingly large role here to train young people to start understanding, to be able to manage in a more services-oriented world, to be able to manage in a more globally run world, to understand the ethical implications that this has if you do business around the world, if you move your production sites based on cost and skills to maybe somewhere else than to Western Europe or to the United States. So I would say all the challenges that are kind of connected to globalization is something which is not yet studied, and there's a lot of research that can be done in business schools from which businesses can and will, and even more in the future, will have to benefit from. And I'm looking very much forward to IESE and also the curricula development in IESE and the research development to go into that direction.